Did Laurie ever respect Joe? This is a really good question. In the end of Little Woman, he does respect Joe. He apologizes for his earlier behavior, and he asks if they could go back into the way things were before. Joe forgave him, but she also said that he shall always be her brother, but they cannot go back to the way things were. Guess how many Little Woman movies this scene is? None of them, because they don't include Laurie's character arc and him harassing Joe. That is the reason why she goes to New York in the first place. And then when Laurie proposes her, Joe has already fallen in love with Friedrich because it happens after she has returned from New York. That's never in any adaptations. But this part of Laurie apologizing to Joe, it's only in 1917 BBC series. It's not the greatest adaptation, but I'm very glad that that scene is there. And it's also, I think, the only one where you can really see, Joe and Laurie actually arguing. I believe Louisa wrote Laurie an example of a young man who can see their mistakes and grow out of them. Why that is not in the movies, I don't know. People judge Joe the way she becomes more feminine in Little Woman Part 2, and Joe is 15 in Little Woman Part 1, and Little Woman Part 2 covers time when she's 19 to all the way to late 30s. So it would be pretty strange if there wasn't any kind of personal or physical development. And here's the thing. Louisa May Alcott writes in the beginning of the Little Woman Part 2 that Joe had received, quote, softer features, or the way I read it, her lady parts were developing. It's described in the book how Laurie is flirting with her and slowly trying to suggest a physical contact, or like my friend says, Laurie's actions cannot be approved simply because he was horny. The younger Joe made fun of the way her sisters wanted to fit in the society of young girls. The older Joe feels isolation because she cannot fully fit into the male society. Sure, she's more welcome there, but there is a lot of misogyny. She is not fully welcome to the female society unless she can leave behind her own misogynistic thoughts. And Louisa May Alcott has quotes of person receiving a higher form of self-understanding when they move on from one person of interest to another. Or the way Alcott scholar Christine Doyle puts it, Laurie is the fascination of Joe's youth, but Friedrich is a man. He speaks to her romantic side and to her practicality. To find balance, Joe needs to form her own society, and that she can do together with Fritz by starting a school. There is no need to choose whether to be more masculine or feminine, since he thought she was perfect the way she was, and he brought out the best of her.
Hello, friends. It is Niina from the Little Woman podcast. Just to let you all know that the Little Woman podcast episode transcripts are now available as books. You can find them as paperbacks and ebooks. They are wonderful reading for all the fans of Louisa May Alcott. You can find all the links from the description. And now, back to the show.